some 95% of the people at retirement age, at 65 years old or 67 years old, are actually broke.
We realized that there was a massive need for financial education in the UK.
The rest of the industry was migrating towards helping wealthy people because that's where the profit was. So what that meant was that ordinary families were being abandoned by the industry and the government for that matter, and therefore that we saw an opportunity to fill that gap.
I was born and raised in Chicago. My father, when I was 5 years old, very sadly became bankrupt, and they were just devastated emotionally, financially, and my father became so depressed over it, had a nervous breakdown, and ended up taking his own life. I was always intrigued about money because I didn't come from money, and at 24 years old I remember crying out to God and saying, I'm frustrated. I wish I could figure out how to become financially free. And if I could ever figure this out, I would dedicate my life to teaching this to people. 2 weeks later, after I made that promise, I was invited to a business overview by a friend of mine, my former sales manager. And I went there and I was like, wow, financial education. At age 24, when I first started, financially, our net worth was basically minus 10,000 because we owed more than what we owned. And yet 6 years later, at age 31, our net worth was over $1 million. Margot and I had been in the business at that point together. We really built the business together at Primerica. And they decided that they wanted to expand to Europe, and they offered us an opportunity, along with some other people, to become the founders of Primerica in the United Kingdom, which was called City Solutions. We decided that we were going to make a move, and we were committed. We sold our house, we sold our cars, we sold our investment property, we sold everything. And we brought 4 suitcases, landed at the airport here in London.
I joined the financial services industry when I was 22 years of age, and I fell in love with it. And then someone invited me along to a meeting. I sat there a little bit reluctantly initially and listened to Bob Safford Sr., who came over from America to launch in the UK a company called City Solutions that was part of Citibank and Citigroup, the largest company in the world at that point.
I got involved in this business model back in 2004. I had a very good friend who rang me and invited me to one of the business meetings one Saturday morning. I only had 2 questions. The first one was, to the guy was, how do I get to your position? And number 2, how much is it going to cost me? Those were the only 2 questions I had, because I saw something that morning that said to me that, you know what, there's future. There's a hope for a better life.
That company was from 2003 to 2007. In 2007, the financial crisis hit.
My vice president rang me up and said to me, you know, don't go on the meeting, you need to come into the office. So I went into the office, and when I went into the office, he was like, they've pulled the plug. And I was like, what? I just sat there crying, because I'm thinking, what am I going to do?
We got a bit of a bombshell announcement that we weren't expecting, that they were closing the company down.
And all the other founders went back to the United States, and we decided to stay. And we went to that group of leaders that had been created during that 4-year period and said, if we stay, would you guys stay? And from that, we ended up with 7 brave individuals that we all committed and kind of threw our hat in the ring and said, yeah, we're in.
Myself and Kevin O'Malley, Jerry McGibbon, Jan Obridge, Barbara Anderson, and a wonderful man called John Flynn. We kind of got together along with Jeff and thought, well, we need to do something because it's working here in the UK. So we formed Genistar on July the 17th, 2007.
Well, when we were talking about forming the company and needing a name, so we came up with Genesis, which is beginning, and it was a new beginning for everyone. So we took the first part of Genesis And then we use the second part for stars, which is leaders. We had called our leaders superstars. So we put it together and made Genistar.
So I met with Jeff and Steve. Their ideas, we haven't formed the company yet, we haven't done anything, but listen, in the City Solutions days, we recruited so many people and we made a promise to those people, and we want to live by that promise and help those people, because what we do is right, what we do is relevant, and we need to help the people of the United Kingdom.
So our mission at Genistar is to help people secure a better financial future. We empower people by educating them about how money works.
The thing about our business is very much around the education. And I think sometimes people miss that and people see it as a product. I was told by my old pastor once that your passion coupled with your problem will indicate your purpose. And so for me, it was very much about us trying to get those people educated that they could make smarter decisions.
Seeing people raise those goals and raise those dreams, and seeing our people develop into incredible leaders. Seeing them make $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year, going from spare time to part-time to full-time as entrepreneurs, and seeing those leaders. I would say, to me, that's the greatest joy that I have.
And the key thing is, Genistar will be around forever, because Genistar is not one person, it's not one team. Genistar is a way of life, it's a philosophy, it's the financial education, it's the empowerment of the masses with financial education.
I think we've got a big job to do, but I think a combination of the foundation we've put in place, coupled with the amazing things that are happening with technology, I do believe we can go to 500,000, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million clients a lot quicker than it's taken us to go from 0 to 120,000.
So my vision for the company is that we would become a household name here in the United Kingdom, and that when people hear the word Genistar, they go, honesty, integrity, diversity, and inclusivity. Here's a company that will really treat me the right way. I believe that we're going to become a global company, that we will form partnerships like we're doing right now, that we're going to be able to really help reach across the globe. Everybody that I've ever talked to would love to become financially independent, no matter what country that they're in. And the same basic principles that we teach apply anywhere in the world.